Jeff Ellis, and I'm the president of the Cloudscape Comic Society, and we are a Vancouver-based comics group. We make anthologies every year, and this is our new book, 21 Journeys. It's a 250-page full-color book. It has art from 22 different artists in Vancouver, and it sells for $25. It's our 5th book, and we have been doing a book a year for the last 5 years.
That's great.
What inspired you to make books every year?
Well, I basically wanted to make something that would allow independent artists to showcase their work. So I think a lot of people, they can't afford to do a book that's this thick and this colorful. So by working together, we can kind of pool our resources, kind of bring the cost for that down, and make something like this more possible, because alone we just wouldn't be able to do it. And
is some of your art in there as well?
Yeah, I've got. I put a story in each book, so I always contribute. It sort of helps me, produce my own stuff in a nice quality like this. My story is this. It's called A Single Step, and it's set in Cambodia. And the theme for this book was travel. So basically mine was someone traveling to Cambodia. Other people have did, just being in the jungle, or even homeless people traveling through the city. So there's a lot of diversity to it.
See, it's got Jean Day nominated?
Yeah, we actually just found out at the Toronto Comic Arts Fest that it is nominated for a Jean Day Small Press Award, and it's a short list of 5 artists. So we're one of the 5, and we'll know in September whether we won or not.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're here at Vancaf, is Vancouver Comic Arts Festival, at Camila Dorico's booth, selling all of her cool goodies. We've got prints and comic books and the new hardcover volume of Tanpopo, collected, published by Boom Studios. It's so gorgeous. We're really looking forward to having them on the e-store, but they're available at Chapters and Kohl's and on Amazon. Camila's so proud. It's her passion project. We've just really been enjoying hanging out and talking to fun people and meeting new friends and connecting with other artists and illustrators and people with creative ideas. It's really great. We're really looking forward to Vancaf again next year.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome to the RX Comic Book Fan Group. Tell us who you are, what's your book, plug away, websites, go for it.
Alright, my name is Dylan McConis. My website is dylanmcconis.com. I've done several books, including Bite Me, a Vampire Farce. Family Man is my current book. And I'm nominated for an Eisner Award this year for my short story, Outfoxed.
Awesome.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Can you explain in a nutshell what this one is about?
Sure, Family Man, which you just saw, is about a 18th century university and an inadvisable love affair that occurs within its walls between a lecturer and a lady librarian.
Ooh. Lady librarian.
Lady librarian. Everybody loves a lady librarian.
That's right. So, one question for you. Can you say that there are more women in comic books now, and is it a really, really great thing, or do you want even more people enjoying comic books?
Even more, of course. It's always good to have more people reading, and more ladies making comics in particular. So, yes, come in, buy books.
Read some more.
Yes, more of them.
More people, read more.
Pay my rent.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
So, sketch anything you want.
Now, this is what practice does. When you draw every day, you get to be as good as this.
Without fail.
So I'm always trying to tell my kids, and all my friends, to keep drawing every day. Doodling is good for you.
It is.
Never gonna be bored if you know how to draw.
So when did you start drawing?
Probably as soon as I had the motor skills to hold a pencil.
See? Okay.
But I know people who started drawing as grown-ups too who end up getting pretty good, so some of it's just luck of the draw.
What inspired you? Like, who was the one artist that said, "Oh, I gotta start doing that myself"? Or you just started doing it as a kid and liked it?
That's a good question. There were a lot of books in my house with pictures in them, so I'm sure there were a lot of people whose work I really loved. Probably one of my favorite books was Delaire's book of Greek mythology, which had beautiful illustrations of all the Greek myths, and I loved that book. So I don't think I draw at all like the drawings in that book, but I loved the subject matter and the pictures were endlessly fascinating to me.
She draws faster than I do.
Oh, I know, me too. Faster than me.
Yes, we're two old ex-artists who don't do anything anymore.
We just look at everybody else's stuff.
No, I still doodle, but
Oh, I know. That's great.
see, kids, when I die, this sketchbook becomes yours. You guys can fight for it.
Dibs.
You'll have to flip a coin for it. That's the only
We'll share it. When we go to expos and stuff, we'll bring it with us.
Or we could just like, or Daddy would probably like have this one full and like another one.
Yeah, I think I already dibsed it, so. I'm just kidding.
Thanks a lot, Dylan.
Sign it.
Yeah, and you were saying your first love is between this and history, you'd say? So
Yeah.
they sort of ended up converging, eh?
Exactly. Well,
And
two
the
things.
final product.
Two things I like.
Wow, love it.
Beautiful.
Thanks a lot, Dylan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
The video will be on the RX.
Yeah.
Welcome to the RX Comics fan page. Plug away!
Hey everybody, Robin Bougie from Cinema Sewer Magazine here. Cinema Sewer, it's all about trashy exploitation movies from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Presented in both the comic book format and softcover book format. And yeah, it's all hand lettered. And it's available from cinemasewer.com.
What inspired you to make this comic book series thing?
What's that?
What inspired you to?
What inspired me to make it? Well, I started out doing self-publishing comics and whatnot, and I started getting bored of just doing comic books, and I wanted to get into reviewing movies and doing something that was kind of journalistic instead of just comic books. And so I figured I like watching these types of movies as much as I do. I may as well do something creative with that.
Any more questions, Daddy?
I have tons of questions for him.
Then go, ask.
How important is it to you that the world start realizing that independent books are out there and that people should stop putting censorship blinders on everything?
Well, I mean, the independent scene is huge for me because without it, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. I can't get regular distribution through Diamond or other things like that because they won't have me. So the fact that we're in this age now where I can self-promote, I can use the internet, I can sell direct to stores, and that there are stores out there that will support me is massive. I mean, I couldn't exist without it. And as far as censorship or people's viewpoints on the type of stuff I do, I've been lucky enough that I live in a fairly progressive country, progressive city, and even though it is you do have censorship in terms of Canada customs. For the most part, it's really just it's not censorship so much as it's people's opinions, and everybody's got an opinion, and that's great. Everybody should.
One last question, because I know you're busy. If you had to pick one Russell Myers movie, which one would you pick and why?
Russ Myers. I'm gonna go with the classic, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill. Even though it's actually the tamest of all his movies, besides for the courtroom drama he did that nobody saw. It's actually my favorite in terms of character development, which is weird to say about a sex movie, but it's just got the funnest characters, and it's got car chases, it's got everything. It's a great movie.
All right, thanks a lot. Once again, pick up the books at RX, buy it online.
All right.
Next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you can, so I was wondering, so like, what's your book and stuff, and what inspired you and all that stuff? So.
Alright, well, my name is Christopher Hastings, and I am the author of The Adventures of Dr. McNinja, which is a webcomic, and also has trade collections available through Dark Horse. The Adventures of Dr. McNinja is about the adventures of a doctor who is also a ninja. He does stuff like cure people who get Paul Bunyan's disease, which is the disease that makes you turn into a giant lumberjack. What inspired me to do it was I really wanted to combine my love for really absurd artwork and humor with Arnold Schwarzenegger movies and stuff like that. So I've been doing it for about 7 years now.
Was there any artist in particular that inspired you to draw the way you do?
I'm very into like the old like 60s Marvel stuff, like Steve Ditko and like Jack Kirby and that sort of thing, and it's kind of evolved off of that.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Tell us who you are, what's your book, and please plug away.
All right, I'm Sam Logan. I do a webcomic called Sam and Fuzzy, which we also collect in print editions. I've been doing it for about 10 years. It's about a pair of guys who inherit an ancient ninja crime syndicate and try to reform it to help people instead of committing crimes, and it doesn't really go very well. So most of the stories are about them kind of taking unusual jobs for hire and kind of screwing them up, and it's a comedy, and that's what it's all about, really.
What inspired you to write the comic?
I don't know, I've just always been drawing comics since I was a kid, so it was just, I don't know, it was never really something I actively was like trying to do. I just like doing them, so I can't help myself.
Well, thanks a lot. You still be on the RX fan page, and we'll, like I said, would you mind plugging your webpage again?
Sure, it's salmonfuzzy.com, or just Google Sam and Fuzzy, it'll be the first thing that comes up.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
This is the RX fan page. Who are you? What's your book? And please plug away.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Weaver of Guru Kitty Studios. We have Jack Ran webcomic and Ghost Tales anthology. Website's gurukitty.com. That's all. That's all I got. I don't know.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Welcome to the RX fan page. Tell us who you are, what you do, and plug away.
My name is Bettina McIntyre, and I am a screen printer, illustrator, and I write comics, and a painter, I guess, too. And I screen print at my house. Been doing it for a few years, and I usually pick a frame out of a comic or something that I wrote, and then I decide to illustrate it further and give it color and make a print out of it, something like that.
So what inspires you? Like, where do you get your stuff is really colorful and visual. But what does it come out of your mind? Does it come from him? Where does it come from?
It comes from my head. I don't know why, but I just am really imaginative, so I like to draw creatures and monsters and ghosts in strange landscapes. And then I guess I'm inspired by anything and everything in real life. So I like to, lately I've been drawing ghosts, so I feel like maybe sometimes you can have ghosts in your life, like people you don't see anymore, and you still see evidence of them around, or something like that. So I'll try to illustrate that, or I'll use ghosts to illustrate interactions between people that I've had in real life or experienced in real life. So.
And where can we get your stuff? Where can we get hold of you by?
You can go to my website at notkyle.com, and it should have a link to my store and some information about me there if you want to check it out.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll see you next year.
Bye.
Hi, my name's Elaine Will. I draw a graphic novel of sorts called Look Straight Ahead, which is a story about depression, life, death, love, and art. And this is the latest issue right here.
What inspired you to write a graphic novel? And,
when I was 17, I actually had a breakdown, and I was hospitalized for 7 weeks. And it was scary, it was also fascinating, and above all, it was really great material. And I said, I have to do a story about this because mental illness needs to be talked about more.
How long have you been drawing for? Like, did you just start drawing when you were a kid, or did somebody inspire you to start drawing?
Well, I've been drawing since I could hold a pencil, but I didn't really start drawing comics until I was about 7, and that was when Archie Comics started publishing a comic series based on the video game character Sonic the Hedgehog. And the first issue was drawn by Scott Shaw, who also created a series in the it was the early 80s called Captain Carrot and His Amazing Zoo Crew. And anyway, that issue of Sonic, I read it in the mall while I was waiting for my mother to finish grocery shopping, and I said, this is amazing, this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Alright, thank you so much.
No problem, thank you.
Welcome to the RX Comics Books fan page. Tell us who you are, what you're booking. Plug away.
My name is Jonathan Dalton. I have a comic called A Mad Tea Party. It's about aliens, revolutionaries, super soldiers, and 2 ordinary girls who happen to be genetically engineered. Is that good?
So where can we get your stuff? Is there a web page?
Yeah. Link to you? If you go to www.lostcitycomics.com, all one word, then I've got lots of comics on my website.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to the RX Comic Books fan page. Tell us about yourself and please plug away.
Sorry, can I do this turn around because the back of my head's much better looking? Is it?
That's my excuse.
Okay.
That's why I'm behind the camera.
So I just got to plug my comic?
And tell us about yourself, plug away.
Okay, well I do, my name's Kanan. I'm from Australia but I live in Calgary right now, and I do Max Over Acts, which is about an 8-year-old kid who wants to be the next greatest actor in the world. And yeah, he has no off switch, so everything he does is a showcase for his talents. And last year I was nominated for an Eisner Award, but it lost. But I'm still doing it anyway, and I just brought my first book out.
What inspired you to make this book?
Originally it was a short story about how quiet I was. It was a kind of moralistic fable about how this little boy was really quiet. His parents kept telling him to talk more, and then he got crazily over the top, and then he ended up in a movie role, but then he realized he was becoming obnoxious, and then he stopped doing it, and his parents lost a lot of money, and yeah, it was meant to teach them that it's okay to be quiet. You don't have to be loud like everybody else.
Do you have a web page we can hit you at?
I do, yes. Max Over Acts runs Monday, Wednesday, Friday at occasionalcomics.com.
Thanks a lot. Well,
Thank you.
Shall we go over to Liquid Sunshine?
Hello, I am presenting Eds R Us for Ed Grissom. He's currently in a panel, but I will be speaking on behalf of him. He's been running this webcomic for at least 4 to 8 years now. It updates once a week, I believe on Sunday. And this book is fresh off the press this week for this convention, and it's all about coffee and the wonderful effects of coffee. And his website is edsrus.com, so you can catch all of his awesome, funny comics there.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Angela Malik. I do a webcomic called Wasted Talent, which is silly true stories from my life. And basically that means that it's about me as a mechanical engineer living in Vancouver. So there's some work humor, relationship humor, Vancouver humor, and it updates every week at wastedtalent.ca.
What inspired you to make a comic book?
I've been drawing comics since I've been very young, and so it's just a really easy way for me to communicate. And but I started this particular comic just to make my friends laugh in class.
Was there any artist in particular that inspired you to draw the way you do, or did you just like kind of just decide this is this kind of style I like?
When I was young, I read a lot of Japanese manga style comics, so a lot of that comes through in my work still. But otherwise, it's a lot of different influences from webcomics, indie comics, and manga.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. Hey there, my name's Alina Pete, and I do Where Geek, which is a story about Mark, who thought he was just a regular guy until he got into the world of gaming and discovered he has a secret passion for role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons and Shadowrun and other stuff like that. So it covers his real life and his friends as they hang out and talk about geeky things, but then also jumps in and shows the lives of the characters from the different games they play. So if you're into role-playing games, check it out. www.wheregeek.com.
What inspired you to make the whole comic thing?
I got into it 5 years ago now. I just always wanted to make comics, and was started to get into webcomics and went, well, you know what, I should just do something and put it up online. If nothing else, at least my art will get better because I'll be drawing all the time.
Well, thanks a lot from the RX Comic Book Store fans. We look forward to seeing more stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Put that there.
Hello. Hi, welcome to the RX Comic Book fan page. Please tell us who you are, what's your book, and
my name is Mary Caraplease, known as May Kay, and I do this actually. This is Tiny Vices, and so I do single panel illustration, and then I also do journal comics, so kind of narrative stuff. Yeah.
What inspired you to do all these comics?
I guess I've been drawing since I was really little, and I always did it as a hobby, and then as I got older I actually was doing a degree in English literature, which is a lot of writing, and after a while I got kind of tired of doing really, really long papers when I could say everything in a very short amount of words. So I think with illustration, with doing single panel, you can sum up a lot of stuff, and that's sort of where the drawing came from, was just really simple images with really powerful messages.
Is there any artist in particular that inspired you to draw in your style?
I really like Shel Silverstein, and he's kind of a minimalist too. And then I also really like Bill Peet. He was, when I was a kid, he did pencil crayon, and his drawings are amazing. And then, yeah, I guess those would be the two. Yeah.
Alright. Do you have any more questions, Daddy?
Well, do you have a web page or something we can plug
it's tiny-vices.com, and that has a lot of the stuff, a lot of my art's up there, and also some of the longer stuff too. It's cool.
Well, thanks a lot. Hopefully we'll see you again next year.
Alright, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, that's it, folks. As you can see, they're packing up the Vancaf Fest. It's over for this year. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the clips. Hopefully you came down and had fun and enjoyed it. I know we did. So we'll see you next year. In the meantime, keep reading comic books.
That's already launched?